Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. If you haven't already, please watch my interview with Prez Palmer. He's a really incredible guy. Honestly, I was pretty surprised at his perspective. He does seem to have quite a bit of hope for the Giants' business operations after all. And before I was just thinking that'd have to be a miracle, but in his perspective, it's just a strategic step and really where the Giants are right now. And it's just a whole part of the process. So please watch that if you haven't. I think you'll find it very fascinating. The Giants played 2 games today. They beat the Rockies 3-2 and then lost to the Rangers 11-7. Now in the first game, and here is the key good news for today, Anthony DeSclafani not only pitched 2 scoreless innings, but he came in throwing hard and looking sharp. That's valuable for the Giants. DeSclafani was an outstanding pitcher for them in 2021. Along with Kevin Gossman, Logan Webb, and Alex Wood, he helped to comprise just a great rotation for them, and he was a big part of what won the division for them in 2021, along with their extremely hot offense. So DeSclafani contributed in 2021 significantly. He was selected to the All-Star game. I don't think he played because of injury. Can't remember exactly, but he technically was an All-Star in 2021. So he was great for the Giants. Then his ankle really took him down in 2022. He had to have surgery and miss the rest of the season. Now, though, we're hoping he can get back into his form, and what he did today was an incredibly good sign. He's throwing hard. It seems like the recovery process is at least going well for him. How long it'll take for him to be back into top form completely, I'm not sure. I mean, he definitely looked in top form today, but we still need to see him stretched out, face the lineup multiple times to get the full picture, but what we saw today from DeSclafani is really encouraging, and if he could get back to anywhere near his 2021 form, that'd be great for the Giants because they do need to have a good rotation. And the rotation was something that it regressed in 2022 from what it was in 2021. Pretty much every part of their roster did that, but 2022, they just had some starts that could have been better, and I could say that about just a lot of areas of the Giants roster. Now, I do want to make sure we're being balanced here. Remember that the defense couldn't really keep ground balls in the infield, and that was kind of a problem. In the outfield, it's not like that was the very best either. So we want to be balanced. Defense was part of it. Hopefully that too will be improved in 2023. But the rotation, if DeSclafani can get back into his top form, and if Alex Wood was another good pitcher for the Giants in 2021, 2022 was not a good season for him. If he could get back into his 2021 form, great. So it might be a lot to ask here, but it might be reasonable to expect at least part performance of what we want. In Game 2, Sean Manaea did not look good against the Rangers. I think it was 2.2 innings that he went, gave up 3 runs. And he's going to have to really prove what he's got if he's going to look like a real candidate for the rotation. I mean, I honestly think if the Giants could put together a rotation without him and he doesn't impress in spring training, it might be the best bet to put him in as a multi-inning reliever in the bullpen. I know that sounds weird since they're spending quite a bit for him, but the goal of every team should be to assemble a roster that's going to win as many games as possible and has the top talent on it. But maybe I'm well, I wouldn't be wrong. I'm not giving up on Sean Manaea. He might transform into a 5th starter at some point during the season. I don't know how things are going to go. In Game 1, Von Brown went deep for the Giants. I do think he's seen as a pretty good prospect. And there was another guy, it slipped out of my mind, the other guy who went deep for the Giants. I'm sorry about that. Trying to kind of keep track of 2 games here. In Game 2, Casey Schmidt had another base hit, so looking real good. It's a really good sign with Casey Schmidt just staying hot as a prospect. And that competition is just going to really get heated up at third base, because David Villar, he's the guy they plan on having as our starting third baseman, and he probably would seem to be, based on his performance in the limited major league time he saw last year, he would probably seem to be the ideal candidate for the starting third baseman. There will be some competition here. And Casey Schmidt too. I mean, there's shortstop, but who could imagine Schmidt unseating Brandon Crawford? And like I mentioned before, if Crawford's performance clearly it's not up to what Schmidt's is, well, why not give the prospect some at-bats, keep him hot, keep him seeing action if he's the guy who's performing. So not many fans will realize this, and even after I say this, there will be many who will disbelieve it, but it is possible, I think, that Brandon Crawford's starting job at shortstop is in some jeopardy, no matter how mild it is. Not very likely he won't be starting, but I'm not saying what's likely, I'm just saying what's possible here. I think that Crawford's starting role as the shortstop could be in some of the faintest jeopardy, especially if we see Schmidt continue to be hot, and if David Villar proves that he just cannot justly be denied a spot on the opening day roster. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you have not. And please leave questions and comments. I'll try to get back to you on those. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.